Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans? Oh! You heard about shenanigans, right?
Oh yeah, it does look like those are moving.
The balls are moving.
Well, I guess that means that it's my turn to say welcome to
Punk ass.
and Random Heroes Cheeky Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Bam. That's how I'm going to do it every time.
Me llamo es Jesse, a.k.a. Random Hero.
And I'm Nick, a.k.a. Punk ass, because that's my name.
And you don't know Spanish.
El señor contratista, ¿cómo está?
Wow, you do actually know Spanish. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
I was bluffing. I took French in high
Pinocha,
school.
señorita.
Oh, we all know that.
My cheese is old and moldy.
Did you actually take Spanish in high school?
No, dude, I went to alternative high school, which means I really wasn't a high school. It was just bad kids trying to get credits. That's what it means.
Wasn't Spanish the primary language they taught there?
No, nope.
Sorry, that was just a bad joke. A really bad joke.
It was mostly a bunch of like Down syndrome kids and just, adolescents just trying to learn.
So you were definitely in the former of those?
Yeah, I was in the Down syndrome section.
I think everyone's already come to that conclusion.
No, they're not, dude.
I don't know. But Ben kind of ripped into you a little bit last week.
No, I think it was the other way around.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you enjoy having a guest on that you didn't know?
I did. It went really well, actually.
I thought so. I mean, at times it was funny. He almost kind of called the show and dictated it a little bit more than we did.
Yeah, well, we talked about this. I figured if we're going to have a guest on the show, I'd rather them want to talk because we need to get to know them and their stories while we do this.
Yeah.
The week offs.
Yeah, and that's I don't know if we actually mentioned this to people because we had talked about it amongst ourselves, but the format we're going to kind of be doing is if we're going to have a guest, that's awesome. We want to do a bunch of them, but we're going to give you an episode in between where it's just us again because we're not trying to just be like interviewers, we're not trying to turn this into like Jimmy Fallon late night or something.
Technically, I just want to be like a shit talker. That's pretty much all I want.
Yeah, and I mean, we get that out with guests, but whenever you have someone on, especially if like both of us didn't know them, there'd be a few like foundational questions we'd have to ask every time we have a guest on just to kind of establish some kind of context for whatever they say,
Hey, Jesse, what's your sign?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Rawr.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
even a thing.
None of them are things.
What are you talking about? You don't believe in fucking astronomy? Fucking
I believe in
gods?
astronomy. I don't believe in astrology.
What? You think just like Egyptians made that shit up? That shit's real, dude. Talk about Darwinism. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I'm fucking talking about.
I know for certain that you were definitely in an alternative high school. No, so I do know a little bit. I mean, like the barest minimum about astrology.
Check this out. Geminis, right? They always say Geminis are assholes or split personalities or some weird shit like that.
They're two-faced. They have two sides.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's my point. I'm a Gemini, so look, there it is. I was thinking about this the other day, though. What if, say I'm a Gemini, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just raised up upon people telling me what Geminis are supposed to be like. So then as growing up, your perspective on taking what people told you, that's what you turn out to be.
Well,
maybe that's how it works.
Well, and think about it this way. If you had grown up thinking that you were a different sign, like I know that mine is Leo, for example.
Yeah.
If you grew up thinking that you were a Leo, you would have an impression in your head that everything in your life that, matched with what Leos do was accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. And maybe that's how it is.
The thing is, I believe that horoscopes and astrology focus too much on single aspects of a person's personality. But like you were saying with growing up and, being conditioned that way,
like if right when you're born, you're just totally fucking brainwashed. This whole society is just brainwashing everybody else.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely happening. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up Protestant Christian, like pretty strict when I was a kid because I was the firstborn. You know, like I wasn't allowed to watch the Smurfs, and my brothers grew up able to watch Family Guy, kind of older brother. But like that happens with religions too. And so astrology, there's absolutely zero science to it. Anyone who tells you differently is using it as kind of a religious thing.
Do you know anything about astrology?
Astrology is what we're talking about.
Astrology. Uranus.
My anus?
Yeah, Uranus.
Or you mean Uranus the planet
Yes.
in the solar system?
No, astrology right into Uranus, dude.
I thought I was the one who had smoked a joint before the episode.
Nah, I'm just in a good mood today.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just woke up in a great mood. And you know, one point we're gonna take on today, I want to talk about. Jesse told me the story the other day about his first threesome with two guys, gay ones.
Shut
and I want to hear more about the story.
You know, Nick, I thought that was part of that like 1% dishonesty I was going for.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I want to be clear too. I had one friend who listened to the first couple episodes of this, and apparently Nick threw out a little bit of gay bashing earlier on in the show than he seems to now.
Is he gay?
I'm talking about you.
Oh, you said you were talking about your friend that
Yeah,
listened to the podcast.
It wasn't a he, and she
Oh,
isn't gay.
She, okay, gotcha.
But I just want to reiterate that, like, nothing that either one of us says is ever intended to be taken hatefully or, you know, like, harmfully. And we always will avoid, you know, hate speech or anything, but occasionally just little jokes are going to slip out.
Nah, you know what? Fuck that. Give me the hate speech. I don't even care.
No. What I'm saying is nothing we say will actually be hate speech towards that group.
Oh,
You're not,
yeah.
You don't actually hate gay people.
I don't.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
If I see him in an alley, I'm gonna trip them. But you know,
Shut up.
fucking, like, did you see that video with that? It was, I guess he was a dude, but he was transitioning into a chick, and he was at the game store, and like the dude called him like sir, and he got all pissed off, and like I'm a man. Blah,
No.
blah, 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 blah. And he got like so pissed off, started throwing shit because
Oh, wow.
the guy accidentally called him a sir.
Yeah.
And he like made this big whole scene. It's out there. People, I'm surprised you.
I
don't
didn't
know
see
about
it, but we already, I feel like we kind of hit on this, I think,
Well, right.
in the last 2
But
weeks.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, if I was that guy behind the counter, even though I work for that company, I'm gonna be like, well, sorry, like literally, you are a dude. Sorry, I called you sir. Don't get all fucking bitchy about it. Just take it for as it is because it's not my fault you're trying to get a vagina when you have a dick. So
I really hope you find a slightly more eloquent way of phrasing all that non-confrontationally.
I just hate people are just stupid sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I'm sitting next to one.
No, dude. The only one that's stupid is sitting in this chair next to me and it's right here.
Wasn't that like, oh.
What's up, Steve?
For everyone who can't see us right now, Nick has his arm out next to his chair in the air around the shoulders of an invisible person
Yeah.
who isn't there.
It's my imaginary buddy, Steve.
His imaginary buddy, Steve.
He's way cooler than Jesse. He's way smarter. And he likes to have sex because he is a dude that has a vagina. All right, let's get into the serious shit. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm done now.
No serious shit, but like there was a few things that we did want to talk about today.
No. We wanted to talk about cereal. What's your favorite kind of cereal?
Killers.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of cereal. Cereal Killers is my favorite type of cereal.
So we're recording this episode on February 2nd, 2019, and it was just a couple days after that Ted Bundy tapes documentary came out on Netflix. And at first, I wasn't certain I wanted to watch it. And
Why?
then, I mean, I like learning
Are you
about
not, like,
that
a
stuff.
big fan of the ID channel like everyone else is?
No, I do like learning about everything, including serial killers and their mentality and everything. But from the description of the documentary, it sounded like you were just going to be watching full unedited interviews. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted to see exactly what they put out, which was an amazing documentary that mixes the two.
Yeah, because I've heard the name Ted Bundy before, but I never really like knew the backstory. Like
Really?
Yeah.
So you didn't know he came from this area or anything?
No, isn't that kind of like the Green River Killer or some shit where
Yeah.
he's from? Yeah.
So no, they're two different people though.
Well, yeah, I'm saying he's from this area though.
Yeah.
But I didn't know Ted Bundy was from here,
Like
and then
Tacoma.
Florida and
Yeah.
Oregon or Idahoans.
Yeah, and one of the crazy things that I've shown a couple people, and we may have to throw an old school picture of my mom up on the website at some point just so that people listening can see this. But like at the time Ted Bundy was operating in like 1973 in Seattle, my mom would have been 20 years old. She had dark hair that was like past her shoulders and parted down the middle, and she looked exactly like his profile of woman that, you know, could have easily been one of his victims.
Where'd she live at the time?
She lived in Seattle.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So
After watching that documentary, all the chicks were like just freaking out and just locking themselves in the house or wherever they lived.
And I mean, like, one of the other things I noted down in kind of my notes for today that I wanted to talk about was exactly that. It's like, how do I want to phrase this? Shit, let me look at my notes.
Jesse's gay.
Oh, it was the
goes.
technology change. So one thing, as you're watching a documentary and you already know what Ted Bundy did, it's easy to watch them, in footage in 1973 or whatever.
Yeah,
going, why didn't you guys just know? You know, you knew his name was Ted. You knew his car. You know, he lived in Utah when suddenly there was killings there. And it's easy to think that. But then I started to realize, well, number one, there was no internet. Number two, there was no fax even. Like, if police wanted to send a picture to another police station.
Yeah, it'd take like 5 hours.
Or they'd have to, like, mail it or something.
Yeah.
They could do phone calls and stuff like that. But when they wanted to, like, meet to compare notes, these guys had to fly in from different states to one room and actually meet together to discuss this. And there was no big databases or anything. And then I started to think, well, wait a minute. Okay, so Ted Bundy at one point was on the top 10 FBI most wanted list, which sounds very bad. We've all heard of it.
Well,
we
yeah,
know a
back
couple
then,
people
yeah.
have been on it. But do you have any idea who's on it right now? We have the internet. You can easily find this out.
I'm going to say, what's the North Korea president, dictator?
No, there's no dictators. This is like actual criminals from the U.S.
Donald Trump?
Not yet.
Gotcha.
No,
yeah,
my point is you
anybody.
don't,
Yeah.
and neither do I, and that information's easily accessible to us. It was very much more difficult to get that kind of info, and especially from other parts of the country. You know, they didn't just have like national televised news, they had a bunch of local news. And so, before this guy was caught, they didn't even know that a lot of these were murders. They were just kidnappings. So if you think about it, well, why would they have been able to catch a serial kidnapper whose murders hadn't been uncovered, without all of this technology as he's going across the country? And except for his two escapes, you realize that they really did an amazing job with their limited resources.
Yeah, but I mean, it took them a while though, but it's pretty crazy how much you could get away with back then. You could pretty much do anything. You could rob a fucking bank. Yeah, good chance
Of getting away.
surviving that.
Yeah.
You could rape a bunch of dudes if you wanted to. If you're gay, you get away with that.
That would be Jeffrey Dahmer. He
Yep.
got away with it for a while.
And it's just watching that documentary and just seeing how normal he acts and just how he just act like nothing happened, try to live a normal life. And I want to like go into serial killers' minds and like what do they feel when they're about to do it, or what are they thinking? Like, what makes them want to crave this like ending life criteria? And like, no one really knows. Like, is it genetics or is it just some fucking impulse that just comes right on like a light right at that moment?
Yeah.
Or is it like Dexter, where you want to try to be, like a hero and kidnap all the bad guys and kill them?
See, and that was my mindset usually goes along those lines. If I'm starting to think about the mind of a serial killer, what that mentality might be, then I start going to like what the heroic mentality would be. And it got me wondering, what would you consider being the opposite of a serial killer?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you, like
the opposite of a
yeah,
serial killer?
in your opinion, what is the opposite? Is it someone who like goes out and knocks up 45 women, or is it someone who like goes out and protects 45 people? Like what would
opposite to me would just be a normal fucking person. Like
I'm talking the other extreme though. So normal would be in the middle, serial killer on this side.
right?
What's on the other side?
A rapist?
No. It would have to be something good. I'm talking about the opposite side.
Oh, so we're doing good, normal, serial killer.
Right. So we've got serial killer and normal. What is the other extreme, in your opinion?
Wow, dude. That's, fucking. I don't.
Never thought about that?
I've never thought about it.
That was a weird thought that I had driving around after watching one of the episodes of that.
Fucking politicians, maybe? You know? I don't.
No, and at
Fast
first,
food workers?
the Joker in me is just like, you know, my buddy James is probably the opposite because he's knocked up so many girls.
I guess like the opposite. After you say knock it up, maybe somebody that has AIDS and know they have AIDS, but they fucking just knock up 45 girls anyways.
No. You're still attaching death to it. I'm talking about the opposite, like the good side.
Okay, fine.
of this.
Here, I'll settle it. The opposite, fucking Jesus. There you go.
No, that's actually closer than your other answers. But like, and my first thought was someone, you know, who knocked up a bunch of people as kind of ha. But then when I really thought about it, it's just someone who goes around and constantly does good things to random people.
Yeah, like going out and giving homeless people $1.
Doesn't even have to be that. It just, you know, whatever it is, you know, if you want to buy someone something behind you in the Starbucks line, you know, how sometimes people do that. Or
Pay
if
it
you
forward.
pick up a hitchhiker or whatever, or if someone offers you money for a favor, you know, pay it forward type
give somebody
things.
a nice ride.
Yeah, but like go around and be like a, you know, a serial
Be Captain
nice person or
America,
something.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Captain America, fuck yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
But like these are the weird questions that pop into my head when I'm watching that, because as much as it is fascinating to watch 4 episodes of Ted Bundy, I don't want to end up in the position where I start to glorify or idealize anything about these people, because they're fucking disgusting too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy too how he like got away like twice. Like
Yeah.
like apparently their jails back then were fucking shitty as well with
Yeah.
their investigation.
And there's
skills.
like there's people who spent 40, 50 years in jail and don't break out once, and he manages it twice.
Yeah.
You'd think after one time he would be under such epic lock and key that like there would be no chance.
Fuck.
But
dude.
that's also, you know, the 70s. They were in a small town, you know.
that's like the Doors era.
Or when the Beatles were really weird.
Yeah, you know what's weird? I don't like the Beatles.
Not at all?
No.
That is pretty weird.
It's just who
Okay, wait, hold on. So, Shenanigans. Do you
Don't fucking shenanigans me.
Hold on. Do you like dislike them? Can you at least appreciate their like place in music?
Like I might like if the song was going on, I'm not really gonna rock to it. Maybe I'll just like hum to it, but I'm just not. I'm only humming to it because that's the only song on the radio. So I don't know. Same with the Eagles. I can't stand
I'm
the
with
Eagles
you there.
anymore.
I don't like the Eagles.
So,
I never did.
Yeah. So just like
But the Beatles,
Ted Bundy's like the Beatles to me. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
But apparently he's like cracked to, you know, white people everywhere, because that is one thing that I think is kind of unique. Like, you know, the black friends that I have, they'll watch, you know, true crime stories, but they don't watch it about serial killers, because most serial killers are white, like white men. And I think that's why we're kind of fascinated with them.
Yeah, they got to watch like the first 48 or some shit. They want to like feel connected because it's mostly like they bust black people on there.
Easy there, buddy.
Easy. Come at me, bro.
Easy E. No, but like, yeah, it's kind of weird. And you watch, the other thing about watching that show is you see all the women that are going to the trial and like, he didn't do it.
Oh yeah,
you know,
like
Anne
or
Rule.
like some girls are like, "Oh yeah, he's hot.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. I want to jump him."
And then Netflix on, I believe it was on Facebook, just a couple days after the documentary aired, they were basically begging people to stop calling Ted Bundy hot.
I know, like, "Oh my god, he's so hot. I wish I was around back then."
And you know what? I believe that it's a weird phenomenon, but you're still entitled to feel that someone who's evil is physically attractive.
Well, here, just put
it's
it,
just not easy.
Just
for
put it
most
this
of
way:
us.
say there's just like dime hot piece chick that's just going around raping men.
Okay.
I would want to be part of that percent that gets.
I was not ready for you to make that your point.
So, I mean, if the girls are like thinking like that, okay, maybe he's a celebrity, but he's a really fucking shitty way to, be a celebrity.
Well, the thing is like when you watch a Ted Bundy documentary, you know that this happened, 40 plus years ago. And, it's kind of grainy footage. It's old time. You feel very much removed from that time and place. So it's really difficult to kind of picture the fear that was gripping the area,
And like nobody really knew how he like attracted these girls anyways. Like did he just like break into the house, take them, or did he conversate with them? Like that one he tried to get like in the parking lot or some shit like that. He tried
one who got away?
Yeah, the one that got away. He tried to get her in the car, tried to hit her with the fucking crowbar.
Yeah.
It's just like, what were these women thinking back then as well?
Well,
I feel like women today are more hesitant with any type of guy that tries to talk to them now. Which
is because of how much that happened. Because if you think about it, Ted Bundy was going on at the same time as John Wayne Gacy, the one who killed like 45 boys or 30 some, I believe, in Chicago, also during the 70s. Then you've got Gary Ridgway here again in the 80s. And then you've got, and he doesn't get caught till 2001. Then you've also got guys like Dahmer. And so really, like, we experienced most of our serial killerness from like the early 70s till now.
Or how crazy it was when he's in court and he's going to be his own lawyer, which is fucking retarded. But then he like cross-examines the fucking cop witness guy, and he's asking for the whole fucking description
multiple times,
like he's getting off on it, or he's trying to show people, oh, look what the fuck I did, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
and that would have happened today. Like, what was that judge thinking, for one? Well, I thought you weren't allowed to like be your own lawyer, especially like in that case when you murdered like 35 women.
The judge can be the judge can make a decision to allow a person to be their own counsel. But remember, at the time that they actually had him in court for the trial of the first murders, they only knew that he had done those two, plus probably the one they were going to prosecute next, which was the 12-year-old girl at the end.
That one.
Diane Leach, I
that
believe.
One was way fucked
Super
up.
sad. But so think about this though: you're a judge, and you're pretty sure that this guy's a serial killer, but you only have him indicted on a couple charges,
right?
And he wants to be his own counsel, and he's not qualified for that. How brilliant is it that that judge says, all right, cool. Basically, he allowed Ted to tank his own defense.
Yeah, but like he was good at it though. I feel like if he wanted to be, he would be, but he kept firing everybody that made good points and was trying to get him off the case because I think he wanted to lose for some fucking reason, but he kept saying he was innocent, and then he's like, "Oh,
see,
you're fucking fired."
I think that it was really more about he wanted to be at the center of the whole show constantly, so he didn't care if he lost as long as he had the spotlight. There's a chance he maybe could have defended himself, but I think the judge knew that he had the best chance of getting a conviction if he allowed Ted to go ahead and try, because he was not a qualified lawyer. He didn't take the bar exam. He had a not good LSAT score, so like he wasn't as smart with law as he was with other things, you know. So that may have been a brilliant calculation by that judge, and if so, I truly applaud him, because that's what led to the chair, 10 years later.
So we'll just put Ted Bundy in the fucked up sicko section. Did you happen to watch the Fyre documentary, or
not yet?
Did you know anything about that when it came across?
Yeah, well, I believe so, because I haven't seen the documentary, but from what I remember, wasn't this some big like weekend concert event on an island that was supposed to be this huge VIP only event that was super expensive, and then like nothing happened?
Right. Yeah, it was this guy, I fucking forgot his name already.
Doesn't matter.
And Ja Rule. They were trying to market their phone app that they just started, where you know how like you have Tinder, you swipe left or right if you want to fuck somebody.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never used it, but
I've just swiped right on literally every person I've ever
that's
seen.
what every guy does.
No.
And
actually, really quick, when when I first tried it like a couple of years ago, I didn't know that the way you swiped mattered. So I thought I was just swiping left and right kind of whimsically through my phone as I'm saying in my head no to all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, half of them got through just based on that. Anyway, go ahead.
So they were marketing their app they're making. It was for, like performers and entertainers. You swipe right and you like post like how much you would pay to hire these people, and then if they liked it, they contact you. So anyways, they wanted to put this big festival around called the Fyre Festival, and they had like Blink-182, some other bands.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be El Chapo's fucking island, which ended up not being. It ended up being like some little piece on the island from Jamaica that was like already there from like a hurricane. So there was like the hurricane tragedy, like little tents they were just like reusing. And the guy kept scamming money out of investors, saying they're going to do this and this, so they'd give out like another 500,000 or $1 million to try to pay off this other shit or have some more luxuries. Or a bunch of people sold, or they bought a bunch of tickets already, or VIP sections and
pre-sales and shit.
And he'd be like, "Oh, well, I need more fucking money. We'll just say we have these really nice bungalows we made for 50,000. We'll sell those, even though they weren't there, and people started buying those." So he was like a fucking biggest scam artist ever.
But he had nothing.
He had like, let's say a show's 100%. He had like barely 15% ready in like 3 months, and you're supposed to take like a year to try to get like a festival done and organized.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me how that person can just have like no feelings or cares about taking anybody's fucking money, especially like if it was somebody like me and I just had like a good tax return. I'd be like, well, I'm gonna spend 5,000. I'm going to go have fun for like a couple days.
Right.
And then
kind of like a cruise or something.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I get there and it's just fucking nothing. And I'm stranded with crappy cheese sandwiches and like nowhere to stay. I'd be fucking pissed.
So wait, so there was like no entertainment or anything either?
No, nothing.
Cheese sandwiches? So did people just show up on this place and they were just left there stranded?
Yeah, people flew in on an airplane.
No way.
There wasn't really buses organized, but like the Jamaican bus drivers that were already there working kind of knew what people were going there for.
Yeah.
So they decided to help out and drive them there, but then they're like, "Oh, well, you guys should have came because the fucking shit's not even ready. There's nobody there." And they show up, and then Brian McFarlane, I think that's the name that did all this scamming, and they would show up, and he would just say, "All right, well, just go find a fucking tent," and it was just like mayhem. Like, everyone's trying to find a tent of their own. They had no food, no water.
So he was there, though. The scam artist was there?
For a limited period of time, and then he took off when he realized, oh, shit, well, I'm fucked, so I'm going to go fucking fly away and go have fun. And then he finally got in trouble, and then right after all that shit happened, scamming everybody, not paying the workers or investors or anybody, he hired one of his buddies or someone else and started another scam where you could buy like Grammy tickets or other tickets where you can't really buy these tickets. It's more like invitations. It's scamming more people that way. But now he's finally in prison for 6 years.
He's in prison for it.
Yeah.
So okay, so I this is fascinating to me. I didn't know. It was
and then like Blink-182 like backed out like a few days before, saying, "Oh yeah, this isn't right, so we're not showing up."
So wait, so what did they know a few days before when they canceled that made them cancel? Like what happened?
Nobody really knew anything. There was a guy on the documentary saying, like he saw it and he knew something wasn't right, so he started like a hate page saying, don't go to Fyre Fest. This shit doesn't seem right. Don't do this and that. And that started a connection of like other people looking more into it and be like, oh, well, this doesn't fucking seem right either. And, they made it like you can't bring cash. You have to buy these wristbands and you have to put money on them. And that's how you're going to use to buy shit there. But you had to like put money on it like right now, even though you're not there yet.
Oh, weird.
So that was their way of getting more fucking money.
So, okay, so like what else didn't seem right about it? Because that seems like a red flag. But like when I go to a festival, I went to
Coachella.
Not Coachella, shut up, Aftershock a couple years ago in Sacramento. And like I didn't even book my own flight for it. Like friends kind of just bought packages and I gave them money. It was awesome, but like I didn't look into it at all. So like what kind of triggered people to finally figure out what was going on?
Nobody really didn't know anything until they got there. So then when people got there, they're the ones that were like posting social media shit saying, hey, this is how fucked up it is. People don't show up. That's how I pretty much all started. Or there was people that would write comments saying, "Hey, I don't have my flight schedule yet," or "Hey, I don't have my tickets," and then the one of the owners or the people that are working for him told him, "Hey, go through every fucking comment or like keywords and delete everybody's negative comments, so people couldn't read them."
He was covering it up too.
Yeah, because in the beginning, before all this started, they went to the island that they're supposedly bought.
Yeah.
And they made like this really badass promo video with like hot models saying their models are going to be there. You're going to have like the best VIP experience of your life. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But in the end, it just was like, you're shit out of luck. Here's a cheese sandwich. You're stranded and no one knows where the fucking, creator is.
And you can't even get off the island?
No. I guess there was like no flights or anything ready booked.
Did they even have an airport there?
Well, yeah, it's like a Jamaican island. They had like one little landing strip.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to watch this now. Like,
No,
I don't want to just keep asking you for every little detail.
It's really fucking interesting, and it makes me feel like if I was rich, I would like try to like actually schedule something a year in advance and try to make up for the people in that town that spent all that time and work just to help get it ready and they didn't get paid, kind of like a makeup, somebody should do that because they would make a lot of fucking money.
I thought that Blink did a single show where they called it like Fyre Fest Payback or something, and like they were just gonna do a show if you had booked for that. I could be misremembering the band or, even whether or not that happened, but I feel like I read an article that said that, but I haven't seen the documentary either, so I'm not as familiar with it all as you are.
Yeah, if it was me, I'd call it like, fuck Fyre Fest. This shit is real. And it'd be the best festival ever.
Or just call it Fyre Fest, but spell the word fire correctly.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
How do you say espresso?
Espresso.
Right? I guess all along the way that I talk, I was saying espresso. My girlfriend Lindsay the other night, she's like, "What do you say?" I'm all espresso. Espresso? She's all, "It's espresso." I'm all, "Yeah, espresso."
Do you add an R in Washington?
Washington?
No, like when I grew up, I think I remember my mom calling it Washington a couple times. Did you ever? You never grew up with anyone doing that?
No, I grew up with a stutter. It comes back every now and then, like
the whole time we record this show.
Yeah, like the stuttering doesn't come back, but like flashbacks. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to fucking stutter, or I used to do this thing where I was like young and I used to flip people off just randomly.
Oh dang it!
Yeah.
Oh, I got a story about that for you. Okay, so wait, I don't remember if I already told this one. We did a couple of those preview episodes before we recorded.
Well, if it was
these.
a preview, then no one heard it
Yeah,
anyways because
so-
we didn't have anything going because you suck.
So there was this asshole neighbor kid named Orion, where I grew up.
Orion.
I don't even know a last name, but I remember a first name. And
Were you guys best buds?
no, like I don't have any ill memories of him, but my mom always kind of talked ill of him because he was a bad influence. Like the first time I ever saw marijuana in person, he had it. He was that kid. He was a little bit older.
So
rode the
he
bus.
was the cool friend then.
He wasn't really my friend. He was a cool person that lived near me.
Okay, I
Like
gotcha.
that was it. Like
Gotcha.
Like she wouldn't really let me go just hang out with him or anything. I would just see him if I was on my bike around or whatever.
I know how that is. My mom did the same shit.
Yeah. So so I think that all started because at one point, and I don't know for certain, but she swears that it was him. He had taught me something, and in those days my mom and my sister and I went to church every Sunday. She was really into the church stuff. And so one day she's walking out of church, out of Pilchuck Chapel in Granite Falls, and there is like little 6-year-old Jesse flipping off with both hands every person as they walk out, thanks to his new buddy down the street who showed him how to say hi to people like that.
Little badass. Just think.
Flipping, there
like-
must have been 200 people there,
like-
all the birds.
Just imagine, like, if you were the parent of yourself right then and there, like how embarrassed you would be.
Well, of me, I would just find that hilarious, and if I ever have kids, they're gonna end up doing that.
Like,
Oh, my mom was mortified, dude.
Yeah, that's
I don't
what
have
I'm
to
saying.
imagine it.
like you can probably get away with it back then because it was back then. Now everyone would be like, "Oh, you're a fucking shitty parent," or "Why don't you watch your fucking kid?" or "Why don't you do this and that?" You
I
should
don't
put
think
them
they
in
would
counseling.
be saying fucking if they were Christian people talking to my mom about me flipping them off.
Hey, your child needs to go to counseling. Is that better?
Or Jesus loves you, but not what your child's doing.
Your child is Satan.
Yeah, or that.
Or I remember this one time with my childhood friend. We lived in Arizona in Bullhead City, but it's Bullhead City. That's what we call it. We used to do that thing where we'd hang out like right next to the street, and as cars drove by,
You'd have sex with guys.
That would happen later. But as they drove by, we would act like they like ran our foot over on accident. So like and then like we jump up like and we did that, and one car actually stopped, and we got fucking scared, and we ran in the house and hid in the closet, and we never did it again after that.
It's funny how like other adults were so scary as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And then if you think about like what you were doing as a kid, and if that happened to you now driving your car or whatever, you're like, man, I would have whooped the shit out of myself.
I don't think I've ever said anything. I was in like 6th, 7th grade. I lived in San Antonio, Texas, in an apartment complex. And, you know, ghetto kids live in apartment complexes, get together and do stupid shit.
I guess.
That's how it is, okay?
Okay.
Just listen.
Yeah.
All right. We were fucking around with the empty 2-liter bottle.
I'm just listening, Nick.
He's just fucking listening, everyone.
Yeah. Still listening, by the way.
Yeah, and his fucking balls are popping out of his stupid basketball shorts.
Definitely still listening.
But we would play around with these 2-liter bottles or anything, and we'd throw shit over people's balconies. Right? Because in apartment complexes, everyone has their own little unique balcony. Everyone can be outside. 2nd, 3rd floor, whatever. And I threw the 2-liter bottle up like on the 2nd or 3rd balcony. And maybe like 2 minutes later, people were... 2 women were coming around asking, you know, if we did anything, because I guess the 2-liter bottle almost hit a baby that was hanging out outside, right? And it was me, the one that threw it.
Ooh.
And I was scared, like so scared. I like ran away and I like hid in my room, just like, oh shit, I hope no one doesn't rat me out. It's like shit like that you do as a kid, and you think about it now. It was kind of fucked up in a way. I think we did like firecrackers once.
There was one that I remember. I was hanging out with my friend Tyler, and at the time, his family had some property out between Lake Stevens and Granite Falls. And his dad was a golfer, so every now and then we'd get out there and we'd just be, you know, hitting some golf balls. And then we were hitting them towards that main road that goes out there. It's kind of like a little back highway, but we were far enough back that it was kind of unrealistic to expect us to be able to hit a car until the one time that I did. I hit one, and I must have I'm terrible at golf, but on one, I connected perfectly, and it's flying and flying, and everything's fine until I see this card flying down from the right side of my vision, and right as the ball bounces off the road, the truck's going by, and it hit him right in the door.
No shit.
And so we're all watching, you know, none of us spoke because his dad was with us.
Yeah.
And so none of us were speaking. And then the guy, you know, we see him slow down and stop and start to turn around, and we were just like, oh no. Shit. So we go running in the house. I was terrified. I didn't know what was going on. And after his dad had explained it to the guy, you know, it was fine. And he didn't care. It was kind of like a beater truck anyway, kind of deal. So I got lucky. But I'm thinking about it now, and I actually am kind of driving a truck now, and if that happened, I'd probably act a little pissed off, but then just totally break and just kind of be like, I'm just kidding, man. It's fine. Yeah, I did the exact same thing, you know.
It's weird because, you know, I'll defend like myself if someone tries to start shit with me, or maybe if it's like my daughter or my girlfriend. But like I hate confrontation because usually when confrontation happens, there's like no good outcome that comes out of it.
That's very profound, Nick.
It is profound because, you know, bad confrontation, the outcome becomes, oh, well, we're going to fucking fight. Someone's going to get knocked out, nevertheless, or someone's going to get hurt or go to jail. So I usually try to avoid it.
So are you saying that you only try to avoid physical confrontation? Because sometimes verbal is necessary.
Well, right. But usually with us guys, depending on the situation, verbal comes into contact. Usually.
Yeah. And in fact, I had to break up a fight at my bar last night for something very similar to that.
That's right.
And I'm not going to say any names because I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but the kid was being a complete tool and started the fight. And he had just been let back in the bar that night. Like he came in, I was like, hey, cool. You know, you're back from 3 weeks off being asked not to come back for a while. cool, well, I'll get you a drink, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It took him less than 20 minutes to be fighting, like fist fighting with someone, falling out the front door of my bar. So to the point where I had to get in the middle and like put one guy kind of in a headlock and slam the other guy kind of up against the wall for a second to separate him. And he had just been let back. So he messaged me and he had said something, trying to say an apology. And I was like, you know what? No, you need to learn how to act right. Like, this is a respect issue. You didn't respect me a few times but I'm the bartender, so I have kind of a little buffer zone there. But you see these punk kids going around getting wasted on the weekends, thinking that they can fight anyone they want to and have nothing happen.
Yeah.
And that's just not how I play. I don't want to see shit become physical in my bar, especially at the bar, because that's when some real dumb stuff can happen. But like, it's also ridiculous. Like, how fragile is your ego and your pride that you need to fight someone because of a perceived disrespect to you?
Right. That's why I kind of I really don't like going out anymore.
Yeah.
Like that type of situation, like going out to bars like that. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to go out, because you have a douchebag like that. That's going to ruin the whole fucking time. And then I'm thinking the whole day I'm going to have a fun time. But then at the end of the night, I got to fucking fight somebody because someone's going to be a dick.
And knowing you would definitely be the one who got his ass kicked.
No. It depends. I pick and choose. If I think I'll have a chance, I'll do it. But if he's way bigger than me, I'm going to be like, just give me a hug. Let's hug it out.
So you've had a couple fights in your time?
I've had maybe fights that were going to happen. Like I said, I try to avoid the confrontation to avoid shit like that.
Uh-huh.
But I had a situation one time where I was going through custody battle with my ex. I was at my buddy's house and they were trying to find me to serve me papers. So I'd either go to my buddy's house or I'd go back home. So they couldn't serve me. And I ended up going back to my buddy's house and I was playing pool in the garage. And the car pulls up and then it's my ex, her older brother, some other buff dude, and some other chick.
Oh.
And they she comes to the driveway and throws the papers at me and I'm just like, whatever. And then my buddy and the roommate were all talking shit. Everything was I'm great, some shit's gonna happen now.
Escalating.
And then my buddy's girlfriend just started punching the chick out of nowhere that served the fucking papers, and then it was on from there. And then I think I was high. That's when I was doing drugs back then.
Wait, high? What kind of high?
Just fucking pill high.
Okay,
doing a bunch of pills or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had a pool stick, and my buddy was punching her older brother. I never really liked him anyways.
Yeah.
So I was and he's bigger. So I was fuck it. And I hit him over the back with the pool stick and it fucking broke.
Yeah.
And then after I did that, the big buff guy came at me and I'm like, shit. And I kind of froze for a second. And then he got me in some headlock thing and started kneeing me in the face, MMA style type shit.
Dang.
And some other guy came around and broke it up, and I was pissed off, and I wanted to hit that guy with the pool stick. So that's why I try to avoid shit, because I don't know what I'm gonna do anymore after using a weapon. And the cops got called, and I had to act like I didn't do anything.
And there's two assholes in every fight. There's the guy who initiates it, or in this case, the girl. Yeah. And then there's the guy who escalates it. Yeah. And you introducing a weapon into it, that makes you the prime asshole in that one.
Yeah, it happened between two cars too. So when I was getting knees to the face, no one could see me. I was I needed help.
Yeah.
So I was stuck there for a few seconds. I'm like, fuck. I had to block it. That's the thing these days. You don't know. If somebody knows how to fight anymore. Someone can use some deathly MMA shit, and that's not fight anymore. Let's just hug it out.
That's always been how it's been, though. There's always been you don't
know
it
which
wasn't
guy's
really gonna be a ninja or something.
It wasn't
either.
really as popular as it is now. Everyone's training to fucking learn how to do some type of fucking taekwondo, jing jong ping shit. Have you had any situations like that?
I mean, I've been in fights, but not anything to that level.
No,
never been in a fight that involved a weapon. Thank God.
That's why I feel like I black out and I don't give a shit. I'll just do what the fuck ever I want. So that's why I don't try to do fights.
Yeah.
Unless it's really serious, with my girlfriend or my daughter. I don't care about myself, so they can talk shit all they want.
And that's how I am. I would never start or even participate in a fight that was just based on something between me and one other person. But if I was acting on someone's behalf,
Right.
that's when I'm going to get into it. Because if it's just about me, they're going to realize that I have no desire to fight about it. Like, I'm a much more cerebral person, but it's happened before. And every guy learns, you know, in those moments that one, once you take a punch, you know, you're not made of glass.
Yeah.
And two, you know, that you can fight and it doesn't have to be to the death.
Yeah.
And I don't know if some of these punks out here, you know, going to the bars have learned the second lesson yet, you know? So you always don't know who you're going to fight.
Or if you're going to get stabbed.
Yeah.
You get fucking stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to get stabbed. I don't know what that feels like. I heard it burns.
So I'm going to stick to, I'm going to stick to breaking the fights up at my work and not getting into them. But like, you just don't know who's out there and what they're going to do. And that, you know, right back to Ted Bundy or something. You don't know what is going to happen that might make someone snap.
I'm going to snap.
I'm going to snap you in half.
Was that good? Was that a good effect?
What was it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be snap in half.
What am I snapping in half? A Kit Kat bar?
No, my spine.
Oh, I didn't know you had one.
No, I'm like a jellyfish. Does anybody care about the Super Bowl this Sunday, tomorrow?
We've already discussed it.
We did?
Yeah, and that's more time than I care to spend on it, honestly. It's
okay,
pointless.
well, I'm just going to say fuck Tom Brady. He sucks.
Yeah, I will technically be rooting for the LA Rams, but I only say technically because I'm really just rooting against the Patriots. And it sucks because we have to root for someone from our own division who's a rival. So it's...
All right, well, let's talk about STDs for a second. How many do you have?
None.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I've never been much of a uncareful lover, but if there's ever been any issues or any concerns or any forgetfulness, I've always gotten checked out.
You know what's funny? Being so scared growing up as a teenager and learning about STDs and, like, you know, trying to be funny about them too. You know, when I started listening to Blink-182, they joke around about all that shit.
Oh yeah.
But when I first got introduced to vaginas and wanting to get more, I would always be scared to, like, have sex and stuff because I was like, oh, what if I'm going to get AIDS or what am I going to get herpes? I don't want to do this.
Well, were you wearing condoms?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there was times where condoms were not available, so I was like, I don't want to do this.
Well, then don't do it.
I know, I didn't do it, but I'm just saying, it's like...
No, but that's not being paranoid, that's being careful. That's
yeah, but
exactly
there's fucking guys out there that I knew at the same time were like, I just don't give a shit. I'm going to go at it, and they probably got fucking gonorrhea syphilis.
Yeah.
And they're giving it to every monkey out there.
And you don't.
Monkey, not meaning black people. Don't get that mixed. I was just saying a monkey in general. Okay, everybody?
Flight of the Conchords does a great joke. They were playing some song, or they were about to play a song in one of their stand-up specials. And it's a song called Think About It. And they're talking how it's like about the issues. Mm-hmm. They're like, you know, and we want to really, you know, tackle the issue of AIDS and, you know, just bring awareness and make it so it's not a scary disease, you know, so it's not like, ooh, AIDSy. It's more like, ooh, fun monkey disease.
You know, I was thinking about doing, you know, that video we posted about the guy wearing the Make America Great Again hat?
Oh.
I wanted to do an experiment with us, maybe. We get the hats and we just wear them from one day and see what happens. And
no. You go ahead. I don't even want to wear one for a day.
You wouldn't do it?
Nope.
No.
I would not do it.
Really?
I would never want someone to associate me with that fucking idiot.
It would be fun to wear one and see what happens.
No, I don't even want to do that. That, for me, that would be like wearing a Nazi hat around. For me.
Wow.
I feel that strongly about
fucking people
some of those
getting
people.
gas chamber relates to getting a fucking Making America Great hat.
No, it relates to the treatment that a lot of people are receiving at the hands of this current administration. And I really didn't want to get terribly political on all this. And I know that, you know, Donald Trump is not Hitler. I get that. It's all hyperbole. But I have as little interest in wearing a MAGA hat in public as I would a swastika of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like around the house or something, and I can't even think of a context where that would be funny, but like, it's just something I would never want anyone to ever look at me and go, oh, that's the guy who wore that hat. For any reason.
Speaking of Jewish, I got a joke for you. Ready? I'm gonna get in the joke phase.
Okay. Wait, that looks like your head face.
See,
I don't mean receiving, I mean giving.
Okay. So I was hanging out with my Jewish friend the other day, right?
Right?
We were just hanging out talking, and I farted in front of him.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, they still can't handle gas.
Oh.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what's fun is Aaron, who will be back on Wednesday for our next episode. Aaron's going to redo his guest appearance. But if you get him enough drinks, that's when he starts to actually tell his very few racist jokes. He really doesn't have many, but they're good ones.
He really, really loves dead babies jokes.
No.
That's his favorite. That's what he goes to.
No, he always hates those, and he always hates Freddy Got Fingered. But everything else he'll start to lighten up on.
Hey, do you remember the first time like you ever like whacked off or like where you got it from?
No.
You don't?
No.
I've
had a long and illustrious career of that since. So.
I remember I was 11 years old, and my dad let me rent the movie There's Something Got Mary, which
Something About Mary?
Something About Mary, yeah. Which, you know, you're not supposed to watch because it's rated R. But I remember watching it with him in that scene when he's in the bathroom and he was telling him, hey, you need to do this first.
The pipe cleaner?
Yeah, I remember seeing it for like maybe like a few seconds, and my dad realized what was happening and got up and like fast forwarded. I was like, hey, I wonder what I mimicked what he was doing later in the bathroom, in the bathtub, which is gross if you think about it.
Like you didn't know that you were about to like masturbate, but
no.
like you were just mimicking what you saw.
I was like,
interesting.
I figured it out, and then all of a sudden I did it. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. I'm gonna keep doing this
non-stop forever.
Yeah, and then after that, it was just like every time I took a shower, I put on my Blink-182 music just in case, someone could hear me, so it would drown out the sound. And yeah, from that day on, I've been a masturbation fucking pro.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that time you told me that you asked your doctor if you were jacking off too much, and he said that he only didn't like it when you did it while he was observing you.
Yeah, well, you know what the best part of that was? He checked my anal glands and did it at the same time, so I got best at both worlds.
And we're right back to the seventh planet from the sun.
Yeah, Uranus. What about Venus?
Hold on, that's actually my whenever I've gone to like a trivia night, that's usually my quote-unquote team name. Mm-hmm. Like trivia night team names are kind of like the worst puns and like strange fact kind of innuendos of all time.
Yeah.
So mine's always seventh planet from the sun, and then people are like, what is that? Like, think about it. And then you see them like counting them in your head. Mercury, Venus, oh, Uranus. Like 10 seconds later.
Hey, why is it women, they don't like the word moist?
I don't know, but I'm so glad you just said that because I have enough friends who I know already listen to us that are going to hate that. Moist being said on this so often.
Like you're just like fingering a chick, right? And you're like, you're so moist down there. And just to see the reaction.
Well, she would probably gag and I would die laughing. I don't think I could ever say that word with a straight face again.
It's like weird how we come up with these sexual words like wet or fuck me harder or don't touch that. You know?
Or get away from that. That's my dog.
Yeah, dude. Stop using all the peanut butter. You know, this is ending up to be a great show. I like this one out of the couple other ones we did.
Well, yeah, I mean, God, I've had a lot more fun than I expected to because it's just been a really rough week.
I'm starting to get more comfortable with talking as well.
That's good.
I'm learning what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for saying, like a bunch of times or saying whatever or I feel. I'm trying to cut those out.
I'm going to go ahead and tell everyone what you're referring to because I almost felt a little guilty about that at first, but I'm glad that you like took it in the context it was meant. So I go back and I listen to these shows because I've done that for every type of art medium I do. If it's music, I listen to it a lot. I like to memorize things as they are, and then that helps me perform better in the future and look for what I can improve on. So as I was listening to this show, I'm taking down all these notes about me, and then I realize that as I'm writing, 2 or 3 notes about me, I've heard Nick say the word 60 times
Yeah, I know.
in like 10 minutes. So I brought it up to him, and luckily it seems like you've taken that on a little bit, actually.
Well, yeah, I don't want people to get annoyed because I'm saying 50 times in 1 minute. I want them to listen. I remember my manager a few years ago, we had to do a demonstration of some sort. Short. See what I mean? Short, espresso.
You've got a speech impediment.
Yeah.
You're illegitimate.
I got insomnia. That's not even the right word. But he was telling us how to talk or to talk to people or do a demonstration. And he told me, try to fucking talk a speech without saying and or That's
that's hard.
That's like a big key, and it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Unless you've done it for 50 years because you're fucking old and you're 80 years old and you're about to die.
Wow. So those are the only people who can make complete, accurate sentences?
Yeah. Hey, if you were 80 years old, would you just fuck everybody in the fucking old folks home?
I don't think it would work by that age.
No?
No.
Maybe if you tied a stick.
I
Limit.
I can't imagine that.
Limit.
Like, once you've had sex with someone and you're a dude, you have to wait at least a couple minutes for everything to kind of reset down there, Like, you got to reload the chambers. It's a little sore for a few minutes afterwards. It's not pleasant to keep going once you've already done that.
Oh.
So why would I want to do it with a stick where that's the feeling the whole time?
I want to start.
Be like using.
I want to start
rubber.
a discussion.
No, I'm not done with this metaphor yet.
Okay, let's hear the metaphor.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Ooh, Jesse's done.
Like pushing
I want
a rubber
to start
pencil
a discussion.
eraser.
I want to start a poll. I really want to know, does size really matter? Because I feel like it's just a made up fucking thing that women would get mad at because the guy cheated on them or they broke up with them first and they didn't get to do it first. And they're like, oh, his dick's fucking small. I don't feel like size really does matter. I just feel like it's some stupid shit women came up with.
Here's the thing. It's just like the Fast and the Furious movies. You can have a really nice car and not know how to drive it and lose the race.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a less good car and you can still win the race if you're a good driver. So size doesn't always matter. But if you're the good racer who also has the best car, you're always going to win the race.
Well,
so guys who know what they're doing and have the big dicks have the advantage.
Why do black guys and Italian guys always have the big dicks? How come the white guys have a variety of being Asian, Mexican, or white dicks? You know what I mean? If you're Asian, you have a really small dick. If you're Mexican, you have a really weird looking one.
How would you know?
If you're white, I'm not going to answer that right now. I'm not going to answer it.
And by the way, I haven't even heard of 2 of these stereotypes either.
You never, what?
I never heard the one about Hispanic people at all.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just made it up.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. You're a fraud. You're just trying to be funny.
Just, turpentine.
That's Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
You got
mop
all day long.
Yep.
Mop.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
No.
You got any real issues you want to talk about?
Let me take a look at my notes here.
Sorry, everybody. This is the part of the show where we got to think about what we're going to say because we ran out of shit to talk about because the world's at a standstill right now and everything's just fucked up as usual and no one can do a damn thing about it because they don't want to.
I take notes all week and I remove things that we either do talk about or I feel would be redundant after other things we've talked about. So I keep a list of topics that I want to get to that aren't necessarily urgent. Mm-hmm. And this is a good one. Facebook. It seems like in 2019, people still believe whatever they hear on like Facebook chain letters or posts.
Or Google?
Well, no, just hear me out on this. So like, if you're on Facebook and you see someone, it happens every couple of years, they post something that's like, this is an official statement to Facebook. You do not have permission to use my photos for whatever. Or like,
if you post this won't happen to you. Like Facebook won't charge you $20 a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So they both have the exact same amount of like actual meaning in the universe because those statements that people post, I just want to set this out there for anyone. Telling Facebook it does not have the rights to use your pictures on Facebook with a status or a picture is not a legal thing in any way.
It's not a legal form document.
And their terms of use that you agree to before you set up your account in the first place would override that, even if it was.
Like, say your name's Jessica and you post a bunch of pictures on your post, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go and fucking steal one and make it my profile pic.
Well, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about Facebook taking your pictures and either, posting them online in ads or whatever else. There's no statement you can make on Facebook after signing their terms of use that would negate their ability to do that. They are allowed to do that no matter what you say.
Here's the thing, okay? Yeah. People today sign off a lot of shit that they don't read because it's so fucking long, and the companies made it that way, so you make sure not to read it. So like that South Park episode when you say, yes, I confirm this. Every fucking app, every little fucking thing you do on the internet has some type of restrictions or say what they can do, and they can listen to your shit. They can take your pictures, your phone number, and we don't really look into all that because we want to have the entertainment, or what we want is right then and there now, and we don't want to take the time to read it.
Well, and not only that, but they own the servers that you're putting all those pictures on and everything. Like, they own the infrastructure with which you're sharing them.
Yeah.
They are in control of the entire process. If you don't want Facebook using your shit, delete your fucking account and make sure they don't have it. Like, that's the only way.
It freaks me out every time I talk about some product or something comes on the TV about some product, and then later I go on my phone and it pops up as an ad for the thing I talked about. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That was one of the other points I had for like a anytime we want to topic about the same thing. Mm-hmm. And Yvette and I kind of started a little experiment with that where we were mentioning a specific product in full view of our phone while mine was like running the Facebook app and hers wasn't, but we were saying it loud and like a little more frequently. And we're going to do that over the next couple of weeks and just kind of see if we can get that product to show up without ever searching for it. So I'm not going to say it here. I'll let everyone know on the day that I say it. No.
It was butt plugs. That's what you said. You said butt plugs.
It was not butt plugs.
Oh, sorry.
Because I already searched for those.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Well, you told me you wanted a new pacifier, so.
Yeah, those are the best pacifiers, dude. They fit great.
How much time are we at, brother?
We're at an hour, which I feel like is a pretty good time.
It is. It's a pretty good time. This is,
I like doing this on, maybe this is what it is. Usually we do this on Wednesdays. Yeah. But I have to work during that week.
Yeah.
But then you have to work on Saturday, and I feel like I'm in a great mood. Yeah. So maybe we switch off and on. We do one Wednesday, and then we do one the next week on a Saturday.
Yeah, and I mean, eventually I'd like to be to the spot where maybe we could do both weekly. But I mean,
I don't think people want to listen to us that much yet.
No, but that's why we're gonna have the guests on also, because people will definitely get tired of us.
Yeah.
But we would be able to double the content.
Like, I really love doing this, and I'm realizing, if you're already famous and start a podcast, people want to listen to it because they want to know what's going on with them, because either they idolize them or they're just famous and rich and people want to hear that.
Right.
So us starting right from the fucking bottom and having to work our way up, it's going to be fun trying to see how it progresses. It would be really helpful if you fucking assholes would just at least like or share it. You know what I mean? It doesn't kill you. It's like if everyone gave $1, somebody would have $1 million. But in reality, all you did was just gave $1. It's just like that simple.
Yeah, but by the time you've given out $1,001 to other people so they can all be millionaires, then everyone's only got $1 again.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, just do the one click and hit the share button. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I obviously we want people to subscribe and stuff like that, but I don't want to get preachy about it because you're absolutely right. We're starting from the bottom. We're working our way up. And the way I see it, if people like what we're saying already, they're probably going to do that. People know to hit that button as a way to support you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't. Like, I love watching Joe Rogan podcasts, and I'm a subscriber, but I don't watch every single episode.
No, it depends on the person.
Or just how much time I have, or if I even remember.
Yeah, Joe Rogan goes way over the limit, like 3 hours. That's just way too long for me.
If I was interviewing, like Elon Musk or Neil deGrasse Tyson, like he gets to, I would probably want to go 3 hours also, though.
All right, well, I just got to say, I really have to pee, so let's get this ending.
All right, yeah, well, we can do that. No, what I was going to say earlier, though, is like, this has been, I've loved doing this. We've gotten some pretty decent responses so far, but like, it's been fun. I look forward to this all the time now.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how far we can push it up also from here, you know.
Right. And I really want to see how you push it up into some dude's ass.
Well, and the reason why I was saying that is because I thought I really had such a tough week that I thought I was going to be dark today, and
I helped you with that.
It's been a lot better. It has.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, this is a rare moment of genuine like broing out here, and then I'm going to go right back to
fucking
telling you
whacking
to
off.
fuck off.
Okay, I love it. I love when you do that.
Well, should we get ready to say goodbye to all the lovely people?
Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Have a homosexual day as usual for me, punk ass, because, you know, if you're not homosexual, then you're going to be gay anyway. So.
That doesn't mean anything.
I know it doesn't. I just love fucking.
So, don't forget, we're going to be doing our next one on Wednesday with Aaron. We'll make sure that his mic's working for it this time.
Yeah, and Aaron's a history buff, so I'm really going to...
Well, last time you got him, or I got him.
You got him.
I got him with the Manhattan Project question. So try and write a couple questions before the show. This time.
I'm going to. He thinks he's a smart ass all the time.
So anyway, I am Jesse, aka Random Hero, and I hope you guys have a consensual day. And I really thank you for listening to us.
And I am Nick, aka Podcast, and I am sexy.
And he is rubbing his own nipples right now.
All right, everybody.
On that note, we'd better just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. We're out.
We're out!
You mean Shenanigans? No! You're talking about Shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans.